Bob Iger is trying to undo a mess that he created. He's out here shaking hands with Trump, pretending he's all about business again, while the woke left inside his company is stabbing him in the back before he even leaves the room. Now, honestly, this isn't just some internal disagreement. It's open sabotage. And Bob Iger can't lead Disney back to the center because he doesn't run Disney anymore, basically. The woke left does. And Bob Iger has himself to blame for that. Now, Bob Iger had a meeting with Donald Trump, a real one apparently, not a photo op, not a handshake for the cameras, a full blown attempt to go ahead and rebuild the bridge that he blew up. Now, Trump even gave him a chance, talked about the Abu Dhabi resort like it was some sort of like it was a positive move. But just days later, ABC News, owned by Disney, ran another story attacking Trump. So, what's the point of Bob Iger playing nice if his own network is still taking shots at the president? Now, Disney's official statement said that the meeting was productive, and that means that Bob Iger walked into that room with a plan to tell Trump they're interested in, investing in America again. Trump liked it. He even talked about it publicly, but then the woke left clapped back using Disney's own platforms to push anti-Trump narratives again. Okay. And honestly, that right there is just an internal civil war. Okay. Now, ABC News went after the president with a story about a Boeing 747 supposedly gifted to him. That's nonsense right there. The plane was actually meant for the U.S. Air Force, not the president. But ABC spun it like he was pocketing a $1 billion plane. You see, Bob Iger stayed silent while his own employees pulled this garbage, okay? Why is that? Because he knows he hired people who actually care more about politics than the truth itself, okay? And also, this is what happens when the woke left runs your company. You can't pivot. You can't make deals. You can't even correct the record, basically, without someone on your payroll blowing it up. Now, Bob Iger used to run this place, and now he's just a figurehead trying to keep activists from setting the building on fire. Okay. And that's me just putting it mildly. But what we're seeing here is bigger than just one network. You see, it's the result of Bob Iger stacking the company with partisans who actually never learned how to stay neutral. Now, these people don't, want to compromise. They want control. They want domination. And if Bob Iger tries to steer things back towards the mainstream, well, the woke left calls it betrayal. You see, they don't care what the CEO wants. They think they're in charge, okay? But simply put, The View, for example, another Disney property on ABC, just went on air ranting about, Trump's immigration history. That right there is complete revisionist mess right there. One of the hosts claimed that his family would be deported under current laws. That right there, of course, is false, but this isn't about facts anymore. It's about signaling, and the woke left uses every platform that Disney has to push a narrative, and Bob Iger simply lets it happen because he's afraid to clean house, okay? And that's the real problem right there. You see, Bob Iger wants to bring Disney back to normal, but apparently he won't fire the people who actually made it abnormal, okay? He hired activists, and now those activists are embedded deep into the company itself. I mean, simply put, you can't run a centrist business with a workforce that openly rejects the center. The woke left doesn't want to meet in the middle. They want to dominate, as I've said previous times before. Now, there's no way to moderate when half your employees think that moderation is weakness. And Bob Iger put these people in charge of content, marketing, news, and public messaging. Now he acts shocked when they go rogue. You see, he doesn't need a PR team. He actually needs a demolition crew, basically, because if the woke left stays in power, well, simply put, the company is done. And I knew Bob Iger didn't really care about these ESG and DEI causes and stuff. He just simply wanted to make money. He just assumed that, he'll just go ahead and make more money from this, as well as the fact that he won't lose access from the government, okay? But simply put, this isn't just about the president. It's about losing half of your country's trust. You see, Bob Iger knows he can't sell kids movies to people who are sick of being insulted. But he also knows that the second he removes a single activist, he'll basically have a revolt on his hands. So he does nothing. And the woke left keeps pushing even further. Okay. And at this point, the lawsuits are coming. You see, the president's already won one against ABC. More are likely on the way. You see, the FCC is paying attention. Other networks are already losing money over their activist nonsense. Now, Bob Iger could have avoided this by cleaning house years ago, but instead he empowered the woke left, and now they've turned on him. Okay, and that's no surprise right there. You look at projects like Lilo and Stitch, and you know what? That's where Disney actually gets it right, except at the ending, if you know what I mean. The forced messaging, no forced messaging, just entertainment, and it'll probably make serious money. But projects like that are rare because the people in charge don't want to make money. Okay, simply put, they want to preach, and Bob Iger lets them take over every department, and now he's just stuck with them. Okay. Now, even with a roadmap back to the center, Bob Iger can no longer follow it. You see, it's because of that, because following it means telling the woke left they're done, and he won't do it. He built a company on ideology and culture, not talent. Now, the ideology is running wild, and the talent is either left or gone quiet. The audience sees it, and guess what? They're tuning out. Now, if Bob Iger had any real power left, he'd be firing people who actually defy the new strategy. But he's not. He's trying to go ahead and balance politics and profit like that's even possible anymore. Now, the woke left doesn't want balance. They want every inch. They want domination. And as long as they're in charge, Disney's collapse will actually continue. Okay. Now, the audience is done. Parents don't want lectures. Shareholders don't want shareholders actually want returns, and Bob Iger is caught in the middle, paralyzed. You see, he created this mess by appealing to the woke left, and now he's afraid to offend them. And that right there is just cowardice, okay? And simply put, Disney needs a purge, not a rebrand, not a pivot, a full-blown gut job. The next CEO needs to say plainly, the woke left no longer runs this company. But until that happens, well, Disney will be trapped in this nightmare, and no meeting with the president is going to change that. Okay, so let me know your thoughts on this in comments below. Be sure to smash the like button if you enjoyed what was shared in this video. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell for future uploads and notifications, and I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, peace.